Hey dads, are you guys tired of your kids saying that you can't hashtag? That your hashtag lame or hashtag FOMO. You know, you can do better than this. You can get in with the cool kids. I'm gonna sell you a hashtag generator so you can be as cool as your kids. You can be hashtag YOLO. You can be hashtag Go Canucks Go, hashtag Fire Benning. It gets so much cooler. Come to my site, and I'm going to sell you this for 3 easy payments of $99.99. That's all I got. Welcome to the PP1 podcast. We are live streaming across multiple channels. We are on the Dean Blundell Network. We are on YouTube. You can follow along. You can comment with us. Whether we're going to show your comments, I don't know. I get to choose. I have all this control. It's amazing. And also on my Twitter because we're on the intro version, so I can only do so much. Joining me are my boys, as usual. First of all, welcome back, Brady, Bob's son, Ursel. How are you doing out in Burnaby, Mr. BCIT? I love it. Look at this. He's got his own applause. I love it.
Hey guys. Hey, happy to be here. Like I always say, that's my opening line. I'm happy to be here, boys. Bob's son's in the house. Canucks season's winding down, as is my practicum. So I'm here to rock in the podcast world with you guys.
Beauty. I love it. Welcome back. It's good to have you. Full bench. Teddy.
Full bench.
Ted. T3. What's up, man?
It's hanging in there. I'm stoked to be here. Rainy, gross day here. It's not a whole lot going on. So it's just good to, get out here, blow a little steam off, yell and rant with you guys, argue a little bit, have a guest on. Should be good.
Oh, right. So we are on the Dean Blundell Network. We are presented by Summerskate. See the little logo in the corner? I'm so good at logos. And we also have, look at that. That is so good. I'm going to pay you now to do that. You're going to be our pointer guy. You're going to be your Havana, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Ted.
So next week we got to get you to
like this. Yeah, there we go.
Perfect. That's so good. Well done. We have a very special guest. I'm excited. It's kind of awkward because this person theoretically would clash with what we're talking about. We have Tara from The Glove Drop. Huge Rangers fan. Check her out on YouTube, The Glove Drop. She's hilarious. If you follow her already, everybody already knows that. But you definitely want to make sure that you're tuning in. She's going to be here for a little while. We're going to talk some Rangers. We're going to talk some Canucks. I know that sounds weird. It's not 1994.
Some current events, yeah.
Some current events. There's some Tom Wilson guy that we'll probably talk about. So, yeah. So when she gets here, we're gonna chat it up with her. Other than that, boys, the Canucks are almost done. They are almost done their season. The playoffs start Saturday. The Canucks will still be playing at that point. Did you just go lock your truck?
Yeah. How'd you know that?
I'm psychic. I know these things. I'm
there's a shady character walking around out by the parking lot. I can see him by my truck. So it's not like there's anything in there we're stealing, but I don't want him to think he can go in there.
So if you leave, then we get it.
If I leave and then I'm gone, then maybe send help.
Yeah. So a couple things. Let's get the fun stuff out of the way. The Blundell Network joined forces with the Sound Off podcast network this week. Big partnership. We are now, as far as I'm aware, the largest podcast community in Canada, which means a whole bunch of things as far as what we can offer on our podcast, as well as a bunch of other ones. So definitely check out all their podcasts on Sound Off, as well as everybody on the Blundell Network. And there's another thing that happened on Sunday that a few people may have heard about. I raced Chris Phillips from Ballhawks podcast, another Kelowna-based podcast.
Was it really a race, though?
It wasn't. It really wasn't. So we did a few drills. Did a 3-cone. We did a broad jump. My legs still kind of hurt from that. My abs, every time I sneeze, it's murder. And then we did the 40, and I smoked him. I didn't just smoke him on the clock.
In fairness to Chris, I mean, he destroyed you in the cone drill.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen, though. I knew. We should
give him some props. So yeah, Chris from the Ballhawks podcast. So there was like a solid walk up intro. I think the first comp was the vert, right? Or no, it wasn't vert. It was broad
jump. Yeah.
What did you finish with?
What I had a 7'9", 7'9". That's
7'9". Yeah, that's not bad.
Although you then did, and you did like an 8'1", didn't you?
I think it was like almost 10 feet.
Oh, shut up! It was like 8'1". You were barely ahead of me. Get out of here.
Barely.
2 inches. No one cares. Maybe it's more. My math's bad.
What brought this all up, you guys? I'm a little out of the loop here.
Well,
there was a heavy amount of chirping going on. I think it started with Chris on his own podcast talking about Rich Eisen. Rich Eisen runs the 40-yard dash every year for the NFL Network
in a suit.
In a suit, right? And every year he's trying to get a little bit better. He's trying to be like, sub 6, and then he wants to be, in the mid 5s and stuff like that. And then they raise money for charity and that kind of thing. So I think it came up with Chris saying, if you can't beat Rich Eisen in a foot race, then what are you really? We're talking about a man in his like late 50s here, right? And then I think it came back to like, I don't know if anybody's seen Tom Brady run his 40, but it's horrendous. He looks like Gumby. He looks like a baby giraffe running a 40. And it's actually pretty fast. I think it's like a 5.26 for a regular human being. That's pretty fast. So these boys went out to try to beat a 5.26, and I don't think it happened.
I got 5.39, and that's not too bad.
That's not that fast compared to. I mean, that's not as fast as a 5.26. How about that?
You're comparing me to Tom Brady, though.
What's Tom Brady? He's the GOAT.
Yeah, exactly. So if I'm that close to Tom Brady, I'll take it.
So, anyways, this started coming out with the him saying he could beat him, and then Ryan decided to step in and start chirping him about like, you're slow, you're old,
classic
all this
Ryan
stuff. Yeah, classic Ryan stuff. So yeah, he showed up there in a pair of compression pants.
Camouflage.
Classic Ryan.
No shirt.
No shirt.
Great tan. Great tan.
Except for the middle area.
Right. I mean, yeah, just sort of great tanned arms. And Thank you. And then he ran his 40, no shirt, and he
saw the slow motion.
Tarps off, man.
Off him, yeah.
Crushed.
It was impressive.
That was pretty great.
He did. Chris picked you apart in the cone drill. You were better than him in the broad. I think it was fairly close, and then in the race, I think it wasn't.
I knew that was going to happen. I had already assigned myself that was probably the one event I was going to lose.
And Chris he's a bit of an athlete. He's played like some pretty high level lacrosse. He plays sports on a pretty regular basis. So yeah,
he's got some good tree trunks. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, you did good. I was really impressed.
Thank you,
Ryan. Did you pull a hammy or
no?
What was the worst of it?
I had been stretching all week because I knew that I couldn't be coming home in a body bag on that one. So no, I gave her on the 40. The broad jump, like I said, all those extra muscles that I forgot I had definitely reminded me that they're still there. So I did okay. I think I did pretty well considering I'm 37 years old and I run very rarely. I haven't actually worked out in a while, so I was pretty impressed. Like I said, for me, that was pretty good. That was pretty darn good. So we raised some money for BC Children's. So, Chris ponied up $40. I gave into 20. So, bet's a bet. And
nice.
Yeah, so I mean, we had some fun, embarrassed ourselves. The video, Rob Fay is going to do the Fay cut, as we're calling it. He's going to be releasing a play-by-play of this. You guys are going to have to see this. I said, show no mercy. I want absolute roasting on this thing. I said, no stone unturned. So I cannot wait to have that released. You're gonna be embarrassed to know me by the end of this thing. So it's gonna be pretty awesome.
I can't wait to see what Rob comes up with. It should be really good.
Like those videos, my wife was watching it and she goes, "This is the second time I've now seen this," and she goes, "It's just as bad."
Did she say this is the second time I've seen this, or the sexiest time?
No, definitely second.
Okay.
Second. She watched me live, and Phillips just decided to show up. Can't wait for the rematch. You got a whole year to train, buddy.
So Phillips, we were just talking about you, bud. So
a whole year to train. So
we made sure to give you some props on the cone drill.
So anyway, I had a bunch of hype videos going on. It was a lot of fun. If anybody that knows me, I can be a real chotch. So fake. I'm a nice guy. It was a lot of fun. Give me a break. So. Anyway, that was the fun stuff. You know what? It was next year. Hopefully COVID's done. We'll make a bigger event out of this. So
speaking of COVID, getting my shot next Friday. Can't wait.
There you go.
What flavor?
What flavor?
Vanilla.
I really don't care. Yeah, maybe a little vanilla flavor. Yeah, for sure.
You guys got any of that vanilla AZ? No, we got the Pfizer. Sorry, bro. We got blueberry.
You guys got any of that heroin or?
You're in the wrong clinic.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, he skips drugs and goes right for the drugs.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. So well done. Yeah, we're both. Dad, you're vaccinated too, right?
I got my first shot like probably about 10 or 11 days ago or something like that. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. I got mine Thursday, so no effects. I feel as strong as ever. So
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
ran the race. I ran the race with the microchip. So what does that tell you?
Wow.
I know.
That's probably why you're so fast.
That had to have been. It probably would have owned me any other way. So
did you guys see this? Like one more quick thing here.
Yes.
I read that people anti-vaxxers and
oh god, this is terrible.
Yeah, no, this is a real thing. And so anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers are now wearing masks.
Oh, I heard this.
To prevent from getting, what do they call it?
The shedding.
To prevent from shedding now, so that they don't get whatever's coming out of the vaccine. So they don't want to be around vaccinated people. So shedding. So now they're wearing masks.
Well, you should be away from me because I have a sunburn and I'm shedding everywhere.
So at the end of the day, I mean, everybody's wearing masks now because of COVID. It's pretty fucking hilarious, really, if you're asking me. Nobody asked me, but I'm telling you, it's for
those people are idiots. So, we've got our guest is here. The guest of honor. She's like absolute, like freaking going crazy in the waiting room, which is basically just me saying add to stream. So, without further ado, we are going to add our new friend. I just assume Tara from the Glove Drop.
What's up, guys?
Tara?
What's up,
welcome.
Hey.
Yeah, we don't know. She might not actually be that cool with us. I don't know.
That's true.
Oh no, you guys are fine. I mean, we both got teams that are kind of brutal right now, and
absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll want to drop the gloves. You know.
I know. I actually, pardon my appearance. This is how I look all the time. But I just got back from the rink a little bit earlier. That's why I'm a little bit late. Computer shut down. I had a friggin' heart attack.
What?
Anyway, didn't.
It's also 11 o'clock where you are right now too, right? So it's a little later.
Oh yeah, but when I usually play like midnight hockey. So last night I stopped playing at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Holy.
Yeah. Well, so whenever the posts roll across my feed, you're always playing hockey, like always. How many times a week do you play?
I play roller like I usually play like 5 days a week.
And do you say roller as well?
Wow, nice.
I roller like 2 days a week and ice 1 or 2 days a week at least.
Wow, versatile.
Sweet. What position do you play?
I'm pretty versatile, but depending on how fast everybody else is, because I'm really not that good. Today was my 9th time back full gear on ice since my retirement. It was a 13-year retirement. So we're back at it again. But I'm 5'11" now, so it's a little weird. Everybody's like, you look like a baby giraffe. But I live with somebody else, so we're good.
You're the Alex Ald of women's hockey. We call him Baby Giraffe.
People on Twitter were like, "Oh, you're the female Chara." I'm like,
excuse me.
Am I allowed to curse here?
Yeah,
5'11's. Yeah, 5'11's pretty tall.
You're past it now, so you ask forgiveness, right?
Pardon.
No, you're good. You're good. Have at her. Whatever you got, bring it.
Play as often as humanly possible. It's the best thing in the world, right?
Right on.
Nice. I like that.
So I often see you in what I think is like Islanders gear too. Are you like a Rangers and an Islanders fan?
Not.
Because I didn't think that was allowed.
Did you lose a bet?
I lost a bet. There's a picture of me on Instagram in an Islanders jersey because I lost a bet.
Okay.
And then you know how you guys have like, I don't know if you guys have PAL up there. PAL leagues. It's like their travel league.
No.
Athletic league or something. They like sponsor teams. So on here we have Junior Rangers and the Junior Islanders. So yesterday when I was playing, the boys that I play with, I'm the only girl that shows up. Totally side note, if you ever want to feel good about yourself or feel like you're great and get attention, be the only girl at hockey.
That might be hard. That might be hard for us to do.
Yeah, I know. Like,
people have seen me play, and I'm pretty sure you'd own me any day of the week.
19 to 25. I'm 31, and I'm like, boys, relax. And then I just get hit more because it's like how you flirt when you're in 4th grade. But yesterday they wanted to make a video and their videos were they're so stupid, but they're so freaking funny. Like hockey players are the same across the board, no matter what. So they wanted to like make some dumbass video, and I'm cracking up laughing, guys skating around, and we needed to have matching jerseys. So they all went to this one high school, the yellow jerseys, and majority of them played for the Junior Islanders. So guess whose dumbass got to rock an Islanders?
Oh no.
Yeah.
And that's really like, that's the humbling moment right there, right? Like you have to really just kind of swallow your pride and think, you know what? It's just a game. It's just a game.
Well, it was number 17, and the only Islander that I like is Matt Martin. So I was like, fuck it, let's do it. If it was any other number, I'd be like, you know, guys, you're on your own. Extra. Because they had a script too, and it just said extra. Glove drop.
Okay, well, you're going to have to get us this so we can get it out there, because I think it's got to be worth seeing.
For sure. In fact, I'm going to shoot out my thing, because you guys are going to have people come on with questions, yeah?
Yeah, well, we hope so. We hope so. I gotta do this. We're gonna do some banners too here. So you know what?
We're my hockey friends, my crew. I'm sure they would love to talk to some Canucks fans.
I forgot we've got a ticker. We're high end. We've got this ticker now. So as long as I remember to hit a button, that will scroll along. So anything you want to say, like if you're just like Islanders suck, I could put that on there too.
Also, you know who else is the worst person in the world? Tom Wilson.
I can guess, yeah.
So let's get into that.
Yeah, we thought obviously having you on would be like a good idea based on some current events. I was sort of messaging you a little earlier and all this popped up, so it's probably good timing.
Show. It's been the New York Rangers it's been like one crazy thing after another. Like Panarin's got the KGB after him and he's out, and Zivvy's coming in hot. He sucks for the first half. Then you get like all of this craziness. And then Tom Wilson comes through and likes to touch Panarin. Like literally, I want to take his balls from his fucking wife's purse and dangle them from the rafters at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that's swell.
Like, I get it. I'm all about fighting.
That is awesome.
But Buddy got crazy eyes. And
he basically went all like Tyler Durden on Lou's Tavern, basically, and just
who pulls hair? Bitches pull hair.
That's true.
You said it.
Someone has to say it. That's true.
But at the end of the day, Panarin has twice the amount of points as him in way less games. So suck it, Tom Wilson.
Panarin's a beauty. Tom Wilson's a huge ass, but like lots of other crazy stuff happened too. I mean, now the whole front office has been changed over. Like David Quinn's now gone. Can you like work through this and start maybe give us a little bit of context and operate on this a bit?
Let's unpack all of this. Obviously, it's been a crazy season. Just kicking it right off, Hanky with the heart thing.
Terrible.
Then Tony DeAngelo fights somebody and he gets thrown off the team, puts on waivers. Then Zibanejad sucks, and then he starts to get decent. And then Artemi Panarin has some hit piece come out in Russia about him beating up a chick in Latvia. So he's out. At this point, I'm like, well, I'm an alcoholic, and that's fine. But then everything kind of comes everything kind of comes into play. But I knew that Dolan is MSG guy. He's got the Knicks and the Rangers. The guy's a child, and he's very impulsive in certain instances.
We didn't notice.
So when they pulled the plug, so I'm still trying to get over the fact that I want to literally just disgrace Tom Wilson, his family, everybody for the rest of my life. And then I'm like, wait, the GM and the president are gone. Wait, what? But they were good. We like them. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
The only redeeming factor is Chris Drury is there. He's great behind the bench. He was doing a hell of a job with the Hartford Wolfpack, which is our AHL team.
Yeah.
And when the glorious day that the Rangers beat the Flyers 9-0, remember that day? It was a great day. Just beat the shit out of them, senseless. We didn't have a coaching staff because they were out with COVID. So Drury and the Wolfpack, those guys were all up. They were all behind the bench. Knobloch.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so that crazy streak of beating the shit out of Philly over and over and over again, and Jersey and all that, was with Jerry behind the bench. Guy's definitely got an eye for this team, this organization. He's like in it, down and through it. So I'm stoked that he was the one to get pulled up. Buddy's going to need to find some freaking backup, though, because you can't run it all on your own.
He's a noted Canuck killer as well. Every time he played the Canucks, him and Joe Sakic.
It was like him and Sakic and Hayduk. It was
just like, he's such a cool dude, but he was just one of those guys like, damn, not again.
Yeah. It's kind of like Brad Marchand.
Yeah, we love him too.
Didn't
he's a pest. Tom Wilson's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Huge difference.
One you'd want on your team, and one you wouldn't. I mean, in a red Maple Leaf jersey, sign me up for Brad Marchand. Every other jersey, yeah, I want to punch him in the face.
And also, Brad Marchand is good at hockey.
He is, actually.
Numbers. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. And then today they come out. I kind of had a feeling that they were going to get rid of Coach Quinn, which I'm on board with. Great coach, just not like great for the time being that he was coaching, because you did get so many of these young players coming up, and he's college coach, BU coach. So he's good with these younger players, but now that he's kind of done that much and we've built this team, which I'm not going to try and pump my own tires or like be biased or anything, but I really think the Rangers have an incredible lineup thus far. I think that they've got all of the makings to be a stupid good team.
So let's get into that. Like, you've got Lafreniere, obviously. We're out on the West Coast. I mean, aside from hockey cards, I don't really see much of Lafreniere. So
I love your accents, by the way. Sorry.
They're Canadian, eh?
Oh my God.
Well,
yeah, let's talk about Lafreniere.
Let's talk about the French kid. So, so he came in, highly touted, clear number 1 overall pick. And he comes out there, and we saw bits and pieces of him, more so in the highlights, because they don't show a ton of Rangers. It's all Pittsburgh and it's all Boston and Chicago, and like we know the drill. NBC likes those teams. Yeah. But like, what's it like having him? What has he looked like this season in his rookie campaign? Because we've got to see like Tim Stützle. We've been able to see like
my entire life.
There's some guys out there that are really fun to watch, or Kaprizov. We don't really get to see him. Like, what have you seen in Lafreniere that has gotten you excited for the future, or like what's your take on him?
So when he first came in, and this is something I actually respected a lot for him too. He's like, the game is fast. Stood up and he said, I loved the way that he played coming in. I loved his size. Still love his size. The big mofo. Guy's a brick shit house. He plays better and better each game. As the weeks went on, you could see this transition. The game was getting slower for him. He was able to have much more of a sense. You can't just like dive in and then you're going to get used to it. So he got used to it, and he performed. Unlike, and no offense to Kakko. Kakko was not as NHL ready, in my opinion, as Lafreniere, mainly in the IQ part and the confidence.
Okay.
But he seemed to mesh in really well. You could see that he played a little bit better with the younger guys. They have this line, the kid line, got a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 21-year-old, something like that.
And who's on the line?
He was on that line. And you would see that he was playing significantly more confidently with those guys versus when he was up on a line with Zuby or Panarin. But then as the season went on, you're seeing him gain so much more confidence. I'm also going to attribute a little bit of that to the fact that the leadership on the team is great. I mean, it's a tight team. The Rangers have a great organization in that sense. You can see the leaders across, these veteran guys, especially when you have 4 veterans and 37 kindergartners, you're going to have to, somebody's got to be in charge. So seeing him as the season progressed, it was less of a inconsistency or being scared. I mean, I'd be shitting my bricks if I was playing with Panarin and Zibby versus Yedel.
I've done it in any. It's super easy.
You see him just get way better. And you want to know something I love so much about Lafreniere? He's always having a good time. He is always smiling. Even when they're losing, he's always in it, and he's not the kind of person that's going to pull a move where because they're frustrated or upset. Like, he is very happy to be here. Gotta love that. The kid, and he's always got rosy cheeks too, which is really funny. He's just goofy as smile on the whole time. So I love that. I think that's a great addition to the team, especially in terms of just morale boosters. I'm a huge morale boosting person.
Right on. It's good to have that insight because, like I said, we just don't get to see him out on this end, right? I mean, it's a little different when the team's not all playing each other.
Yeah.
What kind of impact are you looking to see Lafreniere make for next season? Do you think he's going to start to take over as like one of the top performers on the team? We talked here a little while ago, and Brady thinks the guy's like generational talent. What do you see in him?
He's definitely special, but you know what? Right now my sights are set on, as far as generational talent, Adam Fox. Adam Fox is he is without a doubt one of the smartest players I've ever seen. Kid's never going to get hit.
He's pretty good at hockey.
He's so good at hockey. Huge hockey guy. Never going to get hit. He's smart. He is so smart. I get hit all the friggin' time because I'm in the wrong place or I'm in. He is so quick, and he's got sights on to set up play, to get things in motion, or just to put it in the back of the net on his own. And he's from Long Island. What? Rep it. Kid's beauty.
I like this is great. So definitely not an Islanders fan. You're repping Long Island. Like, this is
this is where I live.
I'm very confused with what you're bringing to this.
So we don't know the dynamic as well, right? So yeah.
So New York has an island called Long Island.
We're aware of geography.
Yeah, I live on that one.
We're not.
Born and raised there. So you get a bunch of people who are Rangers fans that live on Long Island.
Okay.
Maybe some people in like Manhattan and stuff who are Islanders fans, even though they live there. But this is how you know somebody's classy and was raised right. Even if you're born on Long Island, you're still a Rangers fan. And Adam Fox is born and raised on Long Island, and he's a Rangers fan. And look at him. So talk about a role model.
It worked out. It worked out pretty well.
So I gotta know then. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on a guy like Barzal? Like, do you enjoy watching him play? Do you hate his guts?
I don't.
How's that work?
I really, truly, there's no player that I hate their guts other than Tom Wilson.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Barzal's great to watch. I think he's super talented, but I see so much more flair with him. He has these crazy one in a lifetime. Just like when he batted the puck out of the air and he got that 50, whatever it was. I don't know though. I see him and I kind of put him in the same boat. It's kind of like a Johnny Hockey, like the smaller, getting around. Never going to put him on the same platform as I would McKinnon.
No, he's in a whole other level there.
And then you have those scrappy guys that are kind of like Barzal, even like Tkachuk when he's not fighting, which is, they're fast and they're kind of flashy, showy,
right?
Versus a smaller dude like Matt Zuccarello, who's
Tkachuks are super likable too.
Frankly, killing it lately with Kaprizov. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's good. Hey, like, I don't see a whole lot of him in any clip I see. I'm like, oh, that's good for you. Good for Minnesota.
Good for you.
They also need something like that, because after you sign a guy like Ryan Suter or a guy like Zach Parise for 10 years to matching $100 million contracts, you need a breath of fresh air after that.
And if you're getting, Matt Barzal, here we go. That's the player remind me. Matt Barzal reminds me of somebody like Tyler Seguin. Like, you're good, but
that's
He's not in that top tier. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wait, Tyler Seguin's not top tier?
No, Tyler Seguin is top tier.
No way.
He's outside.
He's got a Stanley Cup ring, and he's been to 2 Stanley Cup finals. I mean,
he's got
a Stanley Cup ring.
He's got a poorly spelled tattoo as well.
That's fun. He has little teeth too. Did you ever notice that?
Oh, well. Yeah, he does have little teeth.
I have big ears. I have big ears, so I don't want to.
Little teeth. I don't trust him.
Little teeth. Tyler Little Teeth Seguin.
Call them chiclets.
Yeah, a couple of them. Mini.
Yeah. So the Canucks and the Rangers have, I mean, aside from a horrible history on our side of the ledger, they have a lot of things in common. I just realized this season both teams were paying out Ryan Spooner, which is I looked at. I know, neither did I. I looked. I'm like, Ryan Spooner's getting bought out by 2 teams, and not only like any 2, like these 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
We've both had John Tortorella. We've both had Alain Vigneault.
You might be getting back.
You might be getting back. Brooksy's just like, please, he'll pick him up at the airport.
Don't hate him.
Oh no, we love John Tortorella. I think. Do we all love John Tortorella?
Well, I mean, he was like must-see TV. Like I was
He's
always
entertaining.
stoked to see what was going on with Tortorella for sure.
I
And he
know.
likes
I don't know if I like loved him as a coach, but he himself said that he didn't. He just like drove in for practices, and so he didn't even stay in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
hindsight, I don't like him at all. I mean, I'll never forget him storming. I'll never forget him storming that locker room. But like what he
That
did
was
to
the
this
best.
team wasn't that great. So I mean,
Must see TV.
he's passionate and he stood up for the team when he needed to, but he took it too far. I mean, I don't know. I don't mind the guy, but
He also sat.
he just
low on
wasn't.
the-
He wasn't a fit. He wasn't a fit in Vancouver. That's
Did
for
you guys
sure.
see him eat it on the way into the rink once?
No,
Beginning of the game, he tripped. Like all the team were coming out, and he's walking, and he just ate it, and he played it off like such a pro. I love him.
Like,
Nice.
yeah, it's no big deal. It is a big deal. You absolutely bailed. I just find that like there's so many similarities on there, like the coaching and like obviously there's some guy that won the Stanley Cup and then decimated our team along with the coach that did it. So there's a good history, and yet you're here. You're a great, like you seem great. Like you're very likable. Like it's a very weird dynamic that we're chatting with a Rangers fan, and we're all getting along here. Like this is going well.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not a hater.
It's just you also have the good side of history on your side of the screen.
I mean,
So
I truly like. I love hockey more than anything in the world. I love the community. I love just everything about it, whether it's the fans or playing or whatever. So I do appreciate every single team and the fans base, because I've met quite a few fans, and people are so just passionate and they love it. I know people up in Toronto. I spent a lot of time in Toronto last year. I know the people up there are just fully torqued, boned up to another level because this team is playing unbelievable.
yeah, it sucks. We're not happy for that reason.
Yeah, no. But Freddie Anderson just came back from his injury. I think tonight was his first game.
And they lost an OT to the
Oh,
Senators. Ew.
Love it.
They were
Love
playing
it.
hard. I think they were just trying to get touches, but
Yeah, probably. So, like, I guess one more question, then you guys have one. We're asking you, like, we're bringing you onto a Canucks podcast. Like, what have you seen from the outside? Like, do you see the tire fire that is going on this side of the continent, and what's kind of your view on this whole thing?
So it's frustrating because one, I love Brock Besser. He dropped the first pucks in deep of the season, so I don't know if you knew that, but he did. But the team, it seems like very similarly to the Rangers, things that were so outside of the control of the team were taking place. Like the KGBs after Panarin. Your whole team gets rocked out with COVID badly.
Right.
And then you're getting I mean, you guys, didn't you trade off quite a few of your players?
We're not going to get quite
yeah,
into
we
that.
like
Trade or let walk.
Like we
I mean,
moved
Combination.
Gaudette.
You float away, and now you regret it, and you're looking back, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you shouldn't come back."
We moved Gaudette on the basis that there's like rumors going
Mm.
around that he was the one that like spread the virus through the team and shit. Like there's a weird shit going on between both teams though, for sure.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Also, Quinn Hughes, he's a stud, but you're always gonna have that, whether it's your sophomore slump or your whatever slump. Junior.
Is he no Adam Fox, or what's the deal
He's
there?
no Matt Fox.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Here we go. The gloves
Okay,
are
now,
off. I didn't know.
Now we're getting into it. Okay.
I didn't know if it was going to get to blows here, but it looks like it is.
We might have to
Wanna
make
know
some
why?
like some
I would
next
love to know
season. We might have to make like some next season bet or something like that based on points. Like
100%.
whatever defender puts up more points, I'll put some stuff on the line.
Oh, this could be fun.
You
could
can
put some
wear
stuff on the line. It should be good.
Maybe you should have to buy a Messier name and number tee.
I'll never do that. I'll wear an Adam Fox something, but I won't wear
Okay.
a Messier thing.
Okay,
Okay.
Did I go too far? I'm sorry.
Mark Messier is my favorite
Don't say his
player in
name.
the entire world. That's why I'm a hockey fan. Just saw him lift it
Wait.
four.
Oh no. Let's not talk.
Wait for it. 4 years old. Watch the Stanley Cup Finals, I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Neither
Again,
do we.
screaming, I'm watching the TV and everybody's going nuts. And you get on your feels. I have 3 brothers. My brother's like, Tara's crying. And I was sad because I saw the Vancouver Canucks players crying. But then also
Aw.
overwhelmed, happy because I was seeing everybody screaming and my dad's yelling. Instant huge fan. My number is number 11. Mark Messier is my hero. Suck it.
This is
Well, you're likable, so
this is the part where we try to have like a way to transition you out of the show. I'm just kidding.
You're like, oh my God, my Wi-Fi is down.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know what's going on with the tire fire that is Vancouver out west. So it's good to know that our garbage smell goes all the way out east. But out east,
So I'm not looking at the Canucks as if they're a shitty team. I'm
no,
No,
but
we
there's
are.
like craziness going on. We're down with it. We understand. But out east, Buffalo is also going through some crazy weird shit right now, and they're talking about moving Eichel.
passed down to the Rangers, which I
Like
don't
this-
really want.
Oh, wait, would you make a play for a guy like Eichel if it meant up giving a huge asset?
No, because you never know how he's going to play. He's coming off of a season-long injury.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the franchise, like the face of the franchise, but I've never seen him really kill it with another player. I'm looking for team players. Now we've got that lineup. We got Buchnevich, Panarin, and Svanajed. And then on the back of Adam Fox, Trouba, Smith, all those guys. I don't think Jack Eichel would be a great fit, which also, circling back to the coaching thing, as much as I would love to see Tortorella come through, I think that's too much of a huge 180 in style of coaching, and just person and just the way things are going to be run. Because I heard Torts even just preseason camp is ridiculous. So if you're going to go from Coach Quinn, Dick Quinn, who's a little more soft-spoken, he ain't no Tortorella, and then you're going to go to that, I think that's just way too much of a huge jump.
Right.
That it could have some kind of a backfire.
Right.
Take extra time for somebody to get used to the team or get
Yeah.
used to that style of coaching, especially
There's-
these young kids who just got a grip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's definitely players that always seem to have their problem and their friction with Torts for sure. I mean, he kind of carries that everywhere he goes.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
He is, yeah, a little bit. But I think that's what everybody loves about him. Like he's a character, right? Like, and he knows this too.
And he's a winning coach.
He's a smart man.
He's proven to be
Yeah.
a successful coach.
He's got the credentials.
And I know he would fly off the handle a lot, but I do think that he's calmed down just a bit, especially with who's that guy in CBJ who wanted to leave? He's like, trade me right fucking now.
Oh, Dubois.
Yep. I think he handled that pretty well. He wasn't acting up. No, because then you get some coaches that are just ready to throw anybody under the bus.
Maybe do you think there's a good enough mix right now then with the vets and the young guys on the Rangers that, you know, him coming back might actually work? I mean, it's tough to say, but like, do you think there's enough?
I just don't want to see any time missed in readjusting to this completely different style of coaching.
Right.
They think that what is, a silver lining to it all is that this was such a whack season,
Right.
and it was so completely different than what the actual NHL. There is going to be that transition period regardless.
Yeah.
So that being said, it could possibly work.
Well, he's coming, but he'll come back somewhere. So
Oh,
at least if it's in New York, then we're going to hear all about it.
I got a bit.
think.
I got a bit of a question here for you. It kind of just popped into my head. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts about JT Miller? I mean, I know he played with the Rangers back in the day, and then he played. Vigneault. Vigneault was there with him, and he had some comments about him becoming a full player kind of deal, and he's kind of brought that to the Canucks. Like, what are your thoughts on Miller?
I think like he is similarly to a few other players that we had that were kind of taxi squad players or players we were building up and then immediately trade. I think that it was a loss on our end to get rid because you build these guys up, Neil Pionk, just then they're gone. And then they're doing pretty well. I think Miller's I think he actually fits in a little bit better in Vancouver too. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I
We
love
like
him.
him.
Yeah, you like him.
He's kind of got that grit. He's kind of got the. I mean, he shows pissed off well.
He's a
And-
no nonsense guy.
Yeah, like I'm here to play hockey. I'm here to win. And if we're
Mhm.
not winning or hockey's going poorly, you're going to know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Similar, he kind of reminds me a bit of Truba too. Truba's got that. Just like, I mean, compared to, we don't have much grit on the Rangers. Clearly.
Kind of like a no bullshit kind of guy.
Yeah. Like, I'm here to do my job, and that's it.
leads the league in F-bombs for a reason.
Yeah,
I might
and
leave.
they're all documented too this season.
I might lead the YouTube. I don't even know how they still let me have it. Just drop on left and right. But what are you gonna do, man? Fuck
We
it.
like
Wish
them.
Gus.
We like them. Tara, I think we'll let you kind of get to bed because I think I mean we enjoy having you here, but at the same time we also want to make sure that you're able to fully function tomorrow. So
Tomorrow's play a little hockey. Got to get a video going about this. So
that's true. That's true.
time. Hey guys, the Vegas Golden Knights just mopped the floor with San Jose 6-0.
That's a shame.
Ooh.
That's a shame.
I'm excited.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
So if you would like, take the floor for a few seconds here, and by all means, shamelessly promote anything. Pump the tires. Go
Yeah.
all.
What do you got going
2011
on?
Thomas
Where you
Brothers.
going?
Yeah,
What's
so-
new? What's happening?
Big news, guys. Got a laptop now. So I have a
Wow.
YouTube channel, and is covering fully all the teams in the NHL. Obviously, I'm a huge Rangers fan, but I don't discriminate. Opinions, analysis, with my sense of humor behind it, whether that's your sense of humor or not. You
Who
probably
cares?
have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
So that's that. It's called The Glove Drop. It's on YouTube. It's also Instagram and Twitter. Sometimes I go on heaters on Twitter. That is always a great time. But yeah, so I got a ton of stuff going on. Like I said, I actually did just get a new laptop. Thank God. So we're going to have a ton more production going on. Got a lot of videos coming out. Playoffs is my jam. So you guys are trying to watch some videos about the playoffs, want to get a quick little update. You're not trying to look for every single stat ever, or you're not trying to listen to the boring stick up the ass normal TV.
Yeah.
Let me check it out. But I'm going to tell you how I really feel about Tom Wilson every goddamn day.
Okay,
And
one
you
more
know
time.
what?
How do you really feel about Tom Wilson?
Wait. I got to do this because it's so much fun because I can do this. Now you can tell us.
What did I say before? Oh, I want to take Tom Wilson's balls out of his wife's purse, if they're still in there. I don't even know if he had them to begin with, but I want to dangle them from the rafters of Madison Square Garden and let the Knicks do the slam dunk championship on that shit. It's the world's most famous arena.
The current Knicks, not every other Knicks team that ever played,
I dig it.
because they keep missing at that point.
What's basketball?
It's
Yeah, seriously, go. Tom Wilson, go fuck yourself. I hate you.
Love it.
what a closer! Like just comes in like here comes Rivera. Yep, done, over.
Did you see my jersey the other night? Because that was a jersey.
Your Toronto jersey?
No, it said fuck Tom Wilson.
I saw that jersey. Yeah,
What? I didn't see it.
Yeah,
yeah.
what
It's
that day.
you got to. You know what? Retweet it. Get it up there. Let's
No, I'm
make
not-
this fresh
I'm not
again.
gonna-
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, gotta remind everybody what's what.
Well, that's fair.
Thank you guys
Yeah.
so much for having me.
Yeah,
This has
you
been
and
a
I are gonna
blast.
have to figure out a bet for next year for Quinn versus Fox.
Whoever comes up with higher stats. So when Adam Fox comes up bigly, just completely eclipsing when used, you can wear an Adam Fox t-shirt. I'll buy it for you.
Okay,
There you
Wow,
go.
We'll make it happen.
That's a nice deal.
And we'll have to make sure that we send a Quinner your way when the obvious happens.
Quinn, yeah, because the Hughes on the East Coast is just
We're aware. We're quite happy about that. We're very happy we have the Quinn Hughes, not
other
the Jack.
one.
we have the
Okay.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah, we might even get Luke.
Yeah, who knows at this point?
Who knows? We like brothers,
No,
so
honestly, if I
it's
ever
worked
had-
out well every time we. Well, not every time.
It'd be very
I
Canucks.
just want him to be Hughes, like just a ton of them, but consistent and not small.
That's true. That's true. Thank you very much, Tara.
Thanks, Tara.
Thank you guys so much for having me. That
Pleasure to
was-
meet
Tara.
you. This has been great.
Well, let's do it again sometime for sure.
Yeah,
We're
for
gonna
sure.
get
Let's
you
do
on.
it.
All right.
100%.
Go Rangers. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Nice.
She was a lot of fun.
Love it.
To say the least. She
Love
was
it.
a lot of fun. Let's get into the Canucks. Apparently, lots of stuff's going on. Nothing happens with this team, and yet everything's happening with this team. Travis Green's still not signed. Ian Clark is still not signed. Jim Benning is still here, and we have no idea what's going on with Elias Pettersson, but we've just assumed that his season is done. Speaking of Elias Pettersson, I kind of brought this up in our little rundown. If he got offer sheeted by Seattle, would that instantly cement these two teams as like arch rivals, like overnight?
Oh,
No.
a million %.
No, not a chance. Because they're already going to be arch rivals.
I know, but that cements it.
It's there. It's already cemented.
Okay.
They're like
How do you figure just-
they're on the border. Like imagine
know,
how much
but-
we hate both Alberta teams, and they're
I know.
further away.
But they're new. Like we don't have a reason yet to hate them.
Except for they're like right next door.
Like, do we just instantly like the light switch is on and now we hate
Yeah.
Seattle?
I don't even want to
Absolutely.
think about that, man. Like Pettersson and a Kraken jersey. No, thank you.
They'd
No,
never
thank
do that. Like if for that to happen, they would like fuck the franchise if they did that.
You think so?
Oh, it'd be terrible for them. They have
We
to give
haven't
up-
played. They haven't played enough seasons. We don't have the draft picks yet.
Yeah, now you're just starting out. You have no stockpile. Then you went and you go and acquire PD for big money. It's got to be big money to get him, right?
Yeah, it
Has
would
to
be.
I
It
mean,
would
And then
be.
after that, now you've walked away from what up to like 4 first-round draft picks or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the actual number is, but I don't know how you restock the cupboards moving forward if you've now walked away from all of your first-round draft picks. There's no way that they do it.
How many picks did Vegas pry out of other teams when they did this whole thing?
Yeah, but that's an intelligent way of going about it, right? That's being like, hey, we won't select your guy if you give us a compensatory.
Well, you don't
pick,
think
we'll pick
Seattle's
somebody
going to do
else.
the same thing? I mean, of
that's-
course they
that's-
are.
That's way different than offering somebody an offer sheet, though.
But does anyone know how many picks did Vegas get? I mean, I
Oh.
know they got several seconds and thirds, maybe even a couple firsts. Like,
Yeah.
they were
No, I don't think they acquired first-round draft picks for not.
no
taking
none.
those. I don't
Okay.
think
No.
so.
Maybe one.
Yeah.
They might
I
have
thought
got
they
one.
got one. I thought they got one, but
I remember
They
them
were
being
they were
pretty
they
strict
were
about
really
it.
smart. It's not. I don't know if it's going to be that easy the next time around. I think teams are going to be wise to it,
Yeah.
but they still are going to have availability for some very, very, very good players. Even when Vegas got their team up and running, it was like that team was populated with basically second and third liners, right?
Yeah.
There wasn't like an elite guy on that squad. There was a bunch of guys who teams didn't think were elite, like a Carlson stepping up, right?
Right.
But now you get these guys who, like, if I had a whole team of second liners, fuck, Vancouver would be killing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Their problem is they have some first line players and they have a bunch of fifth line players.
I was going to say third,
Yeah.
fourth, fifth line players. Okay, so hear me out. So no Pettersson, no offer sheet.
Of course, you're right. It would cement them as
I just
true
like
rivals.
it'd
but
be interesting. So we talked about Eichel with Tara there. You know, he's making 10 schmel for a little while. But what about going back to the well with Florida? Like, what about Ekblad? What about Barkov? Barkov's a UFA next season. Like, do the Canucks go and like, do they move a piece? It has to be one of the core guys, and it realistically is probably Brock Besser. That's the only guy I think realistically they part with. Maybe it is Pettersson. Would you make a move for either one of those guys? So you get Ekblad, and I mean, you're essentially set on the back end, or do you go after a Barkov and shore yourself up front? Like, is there a move that either of those guys would that work for you? Whoever.
I mean, I think we talked about Ed Ekblad earlier this season, and we were all about acquiring a guy like that.
But now things have changed. Like this season has really changed. So let's revisit at least him anyway. Sorry, continue, Brady.
I'm sorry, is Ekblad a right shot again? Is no? Yes, no? Do we know that?
I'll find
look it
it
up. I'll look it up. You guys keep talking.
I don't know. Like right now, I'm not sure I'm in the same camp as moving a guy like Brock Besser. I mean, it would depend who we're getting back. But what do you guys think? Like, is there a lot of value in JT Miller, or is he kind of just
You're not
because of
getting
his
that kind of guy in.
age?
He's a righty.
Just because he's of his age, is he kind of not one of our core pieces to maybe put into a trade?
He's not a core player, I don't think, but he's like in the sense of the core
Yeah.
four. He's not one of those guys. He's definitely, as far as the meat of this team, like he's the core in the grand sense of it. Absolutely. But does he fetch I mean, look what the Canucks did to get him. He could have been had for less. So has he increased his value and gotten older? I don't think so. But again, that's my 2 cents. Ted, what do you think?
I mean, I think JT Miller is a core player on this team.
So he's the core 5.
I think he's part of the core. YouTube spelled wrong. Anyways, I think he's part of the core. I do wonder whether or not Vancouver would be able to get a first for him sometimes, right? I mean, we paid a first for him before he was probably worth a first, but you go out and you get what you want and you pay what you want to get it, right? Sure. So sometimes I wonder, like, if people are talking about moving him and they're not sure that he's worth a first, but I don't know how you can say that the trade was worth it and then later, a year or so later, try to make the trade to move him again and not acquire at least a first back. Sure. So that's a bit confusing for me when I hear from all of these, like, it's a lot of Benning supporters, right? When they're talking about the possibility of Miller moving and then talking about not getting the same value back from what you gave up to get him. So that drives me absolutely batty how people are okay with it on one end, but not okay with it on the other. So that's one part of it. The Ekblad thing, I love Ekblad. I see the potential of seeing something like that happen as like a Niedermeyer Pronger for Anaheim light. Okay. Right? I think having a decor that could do something like that. The only thing is I don't know how good Ekblad is. So that's a thing for me. But I think we should also continue to revisit the idea of like this PD for Eichel thing, right? Because there's lots of different factors that play into that. You know, one is locked up until his age 29 season, making 10 schmil a year. We're talking about re-signing PD, possibly a bridge deal. Boom, boom. A couple of years go by, have to re-sign the guy again in his age 26 season. What kind of money is he making then? Maybe like 14 mil a year, but by then, who knows, right? Yeah. So maybe you're paying a little more upfront for Eichel now, but in the long run, maybe you're saving a little bit more. So I don't think it's as cut and dry as so many Canucks fans being like, no, God, no, I never make that trade. One guy doesn't make that much. One guy makes a lot more. One guy's a point per game player. One guy's not.
Take away money, though, from the equation, and you look at the player. Bringing in Jack Eichel and getting rid of Pettersson, is that a smart move, or is that actually a problem? Are we creating a problem? Is it a dressing room problem? Is it like a chemistry thing? Obviously, it's going to piss people off if they trade away Pettersson. But bringing in a guy that, you know, can Jack Eichel help you win?
It's sort of irrelevant. So of course he can help you win, just as good as he's more established than Pettersson is at this point. So of course he can help you win. The trade will never go down because I think Buffalo, they're saying shit like 4 first round caliber assets. So that means
they're out to lunch.
So it's moot at this point, right? Like, unless
they're going to have to move them though. Like, they're going to have to.
Yeah. So of course you start the pricing, Brady. You're right. They're going to have to move them. So you start the pricing at 4 first round draft picks. Yeah. So it at that point it doesn't look like a Pettersson for Eichel straight up thing is even a possibility. So we're out right off the bat. Okay. But if you consider Pettersson to be worth 4 first round draft picks, which I don't. But maybe Buffalo does consider him to be worth 2 first round draft picks or something like that. And maybe that's a conversation, right? But I wouldn't give up anything more than that because I already think it's close. But I would do stuff like move Besser and move Horvat and move JT Miller and send them all over there at once and take Eichel back. Fuck yeah, I'd do that in a second. No problem.
So you go yard sale and you have Petey and you've got Eichel and Hughes and you hope that Höglander, Podkolzin, and whoever else is in the. I mean, that's a you're going to want to hear this kind of trade. If not, I mean, Gary's salivating if that trade happens.
One thing I probably would consider, like, trading with those guys over there. I mean, if you guys want to finish your conversation, I kind of have another piece here. So
go for it, Ted.
Okay. Well, anyway, one thing I would consider, I wouldn't move a guy like, I wouldn't do the Eichel for Pettersson for multiple reasons, but I mean, if we're going to look at moving other players, I would maybe consider like moving a guy like Brock Besser. I would maybe look at doing that for a guy like Sam Reinhart. I mean,
you'd move Besser for Reinhart straight up.
I mean, I would consider it for sure.
Straight up.
Also a center too.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I mean, maybe not straight up, but I mean, I would be more into to deals like that rather than your absolute core pieces, your franchise guys. I mean, I believe I believe he's a center, correct? And or no, he's
I think he's a right winger, but
he's actually a right winger. Okay,
but talk me into this Reinhardt thing. I'm curious to explore why you want to make that trade.
Well, it was based around the fact that he was a centerman, but I am out to lunch there.
He's a 50-point guy, though. So you're right. So that's fair. At that point, you're now trading a scoring winger for a scoring winger. Again, based on a center, I think I'm intrigued for sure. That being said, like, do they move? I mean, you're probably not asking him to play center at that point. You're probably pulling him in as a winger at that point. But again, they've made JT Miller a center, so.
I see what you're saying, though, going out and acquire a setter, right? Like, if it's Reinhardt or not, but you're talking about acquiring a center for a solid, winger. Possible number 2 center.
Yeah.
So if we get our hands on a center, I'll just throw this out there. What does the pecking order look like in Vancouver's lineup at that point if we go out and acquire another center? Because we have a winger that we're moving a winger theoretically that would be fitting into our top 2 lines.
Mm-hmm.
And then acquiring a center. So are we looking for a third line center? Or are we looking for a second line center and moving Horvat down? Or
I guess there's a lot of options you can kind of take it, because like you're going to have your 2 centers in Horvat's your main centerman. And then you can almost at that point, if we acquire another center, you can consider moving both Miller and Pettersson to the wing. But you also have them for real center depth. Like,
holy, you're blowing this team up, man.
It's going crazy now.
No, I mean, this kind of went off the rails when I realized, Sam Reinhart wasn't.
Yeah, but that's okay. The Reinhart being a winger thing is fine. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about acquiring a similar age center.
Yeah, I just think that our center depth needs attention, especially after moving like Gaudette, and we don't know what's going on with Sutter and Beagle. I think it's time to get another centerman in there.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Finish up, and then we're going to get into a different version of dudes and guys this week.
Yeah, I do agree. I think we need to go out and find a center. I'm happy with Pettersson as a first line center. I'm also happy with Horvat as a second line center, assuming that we can release some of his defensive responsibilities, because I think he's just a little bit overworked in that area, and he is an offensive producer. We should be giving him more of those opportunities. So what I would be in the mix for, and I think this team has been in the mix for this ever since they let go of Malhotra, is the true third line center. Mm-hmm. And I have all day for guys like Tyler Krajovac playing on the third line, or the fourth line, sorry. And I know that's probably not an all day long-term option, but we've had guys on this team. He's a good stopgap. We've had guys on this team in the past 5 or 6 years that are very, very capable of playing fourth line center minutes. And I think those are just easier things to find, whether we're grooming somebody for that or whether you go out and acquire somebody for a role like that.
They've been grooming, like in Utica this season, they were grooming Cole Lind as a center, were they not?
Yeah, I don't know if you want Cole Lind to be your fourth line center, though.
No, not necessarily. But again, you've got a guy that maybe you can interchange him, and for now anyway, because clearly this problem isn't going to be solved in the next couple months. But if you had a Grayovac and you had, Cole Lind, that you've got 2 guys that can kind of interchange, if you will, play around. That they're sharing the load essentially. They're sharing a 3 and a 4 essentially, right?
Yeah, but that again, I see what you're saying, but then that sort of takes away we're trying to relieve defensive responsibilities from a guy like Bo. So you probably have to have a true shutdown guy.
That's fair.
I mean,
sorry, Brady, go for it.
I also bring up the Sam Reinhart thing today. It's because I saw it online as well. I mean, there's been rumblings. There's a rumor going around that he wants to play. He says he wants to play on the West Coast, according to reports. So, I mean, he's a Vancouver kid. There could be something there. I'd probably look at something like that more than I would look at something like Eichel. I mean, I just don't think the Eichel thing makes sense for the Canucks. I mean, how old is Eichel at this point now?
23, 24.
He's only 23. Okay. So I don't know. I don't think
he might be 24.
I don't think it makes sense going out for a guy that's worth as much as Eichel is in the situation that we're in right now.
All right. We're going to get into an abbreviated version of dudes and guys. We're taking out guys. We're just going for the good stuff this week, mainly because, we had a great chat there, and I want to make sure this doesn't go an hour and a half. Dudes this week, just the good stuff. You know what, Brady, because you missed out last week, I'm going to give this to you, and I may regret this in about 5 seconds, but I'm going to give it. He's already just either Ted's got like somebody that's totally off the radar. He's going to be like, I'm going to pick the plane that flew the banner. You can't pick that. So Brady, have at her, buddy.
I'll take the easy one. Jack Rathbone.
Good call.
Yeah, due to the week, for obvious reasons. I think he needs to be in the lineup. He's proving that he's got some offensive capabilities. He's sticking it defensively. Obviously, there's some work to be done there, but I think he's showing that he can be a part of this team next year, and he's really kind of knocking on the door with the guys like Ole Olevi, and he's really kind of making us question what we want to do with the defense going into next year, because that left side's kind of deep. If you put him in there as well, you're talking about Edler, Yolevi, Hughes, maybe moving Schmidt back to the left. Who knows? So there's lots of options, and it's good that we're putting him in those games. So do of the week, Jack Rathbone.
He was probably the easiest pick this week for this segment. He's been here a week, and he already fits it. I think we have to just remember for a second, and obviously we do, this guy is a 4th round draft pick, and he looks like he fits on this team. He's not Quinn Hughes. I'm not getting crazy, but I mean, the guy looks like he does not look out of place. Is essentially, he looks like an NHL ready defenseman.
Yeah, you take a Quinn Hughes light, right? I would take a Quinn Hughes light. I found myself watching the game being like, when are they going to put him on the power play?
And his fake shot.
Why is he not on the power play with Quinn already? Like, that was what was going on when we were watching Quinn play his first games. Like, why is he not first unit PP already? So, yeah, I mean, he looks so good. He was a 4th round draft pick, yes, but he had like 1st and 2nd round skill. I think the whole league knew that, but there was so much going on in his personal life and where he was going to school and whether he was going to come out the next year and stuff like that he dropped a little bit.
Right.
So, man, kudos to the Canucks. Fantastic pick to come away with that.
And that was definitely a Judd Brackett pick. I was listening to another podcast, and they played the clip of when they had him, and that was all Judd on that one. I mean, Judd. I think, yeah. So, well done, former Canucks director of amateur scouting. That's a heartbreaker. You know what, Ted? Your smile's looking pretty good, so you can go second.
Because I feel like we were talking about him, and I'm going to go with Tyler Graovac.
Wow. And it's not out of place.
I mean, we were literally I was literally just talking about a guy who could potentially be a 4th line center for this team. I mean, he's a career minor leaguer to this point, but he's a big dude, 6'5", 210 pounds. I mean, he's not overly physical, but when you're that big, it allows you to lean on guys. It allows you to have a good stick because you're long, right? I mean, you can just sort of be physically imposing when you're that big. And then to see him put together some games with some NHL chops, that goal he scored off of his mask into the back, and this is Mike Smith that was in net, right? Like, It was like one of those like behind the baseline jumpers. Like, it was one of those ones. Like, beauty. Like, I'm really impressed with what he did the last couple of games, and I think that he probably deserves an audition for that 4th line role if it doesn't get filled in the future.
I mean, Tyler Mott is clearly still out.
He's probably the best Tyler still.
Yeah, that's true. Like, can you transition one of those guys to the wing and have them both play full time on that 4th line, like with McEwen?
What do you mean? I think Mott is a winger.
No, they've got him as a center.
Well, I mean, he plays.
So you could have essentially all three. That could be your 4th line.
That could be your 4th line if your 4th line looked like Mott, Graovac, McEwen. There's not one guy on that line that's a defensive stalwart.
Right.
Like, they all get beat up a little bit.
It's more offense.
But they all have some roles, right? I think you're probably platooning some players like that. And I think that this team has invested enough into Zach McEwen that he probably should be a regular contributor to this squad.
You know who my pick is for this week?
I'd love to hear.
The umlaut himself, Niels Hoglander. That close to a hat trick the other night. And it wasn't just like a late game. He came in, and that wired shot, I think, did it go off the shoulder? He was going top cheddar for it, and I was already cheering, and it went wide. I thought, oh man, that was a game definitely to remember. This guy has NHL chops. I do hope that he, even if it means nothing, he tries to pull off. Oh, look at those bad boys. That's wait a minute. Did you
sauce? You keep going, buddy.
Oh, those are the sauce ones there. You totally. Squirrel. What? What's going on?
Big shiny.
Like Niels Hoglander, he's finally fit in. He came in. I've already forgotten that he's in a rookie season. He's an everyday NHLer. The guy's got skill. He's got grit. I mean, he's a little fireball out there, and he's got an absolute NHL caliber shot. And I mean, and he's doing it quietly too. Like I had to check. He's got 12 goals on the season already. Not bad for a team that absolutely blows. So, props to you, Mr. Huglander, Mr. Umlaut. I'm happy that this team is going places, not fast, but hopefully we get the next version of progression when Podkolzin comes next year. So, not bad at all.
Yeah, he didn't get on the Calder finalist list, but he blew my socks off in terms of being a rookie this year. I think me and Ted both had our doubts about him coming in and making an impact, and boy, did he ever do that. So,
yeah, you were right on this one, Ryan. What the hell was going on with the media back when he was playing in Sweden, and they were talking about him coming to North America and saying that his game was not NHL ready?
No,
that was just wanted to keep him.
It was
the same as Pettersson when they made all those comments. It was the same sell. And even with Podkolzin, I think. They don't want to get rid of these guys. Would you, if there was like a shred of hope you could keep that player, you have to. Like, you got to sully him a little bit. You got to knock him down a peg.
That's the crazy part, though. Like, you want to keep the guy so then you put him under your thumb and you talk shit about him and you tell him he's not good enough. Like, and then you let him play and reduce. That's not helping anybody.
Like, what if he stays? Like, oh, we're really sorry about all that. We're really sorry.
You got shit to work on, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But also, like, we're very happy you stayed. We're really, really happy. You're right. I don't get that. That is so messed up. Like, in North America, you're not going to see that. If you're wanting to keep a guy, you're not exactly going to be, like Quinn Hughes, going his contract. Imagine the arbitration. Well, yeah, like, you didn't have a great sophomore season. Like, screw off. Get out of here. Like, what are you talking about?
Played me 8 minutes a game, you asshole.
Yeah, like, sorry, guys. It's like, yeah, the power play wasn't that good because you made him drop pass every time.
No, thankful for Huggy Bear and thankful for Hoggy Bear.
That's true.
I have one last thing to say. I have to say that the argument. Sorry. The argument.
Now it's official.
The argument about Tyler Seguin not being an elite player.
He's not elite.
Are you kidding me?
He's not elite.
You're kidding me, right? Like, come on.
He's not elite.
Okay, he's a star. He's not.
He's a star. He's a star player. He's one of the top,
elite and
top players in this league
are the same thing.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
There's franchise players and then there's elite players.
Well,
you think he's better than a franchise player?
No, I said there's franchise players.
No,
and then there's elite players.
And then there's stars.
Okay. Well, I guess our definition of elite is a little.
Okay, we got to we'll get into this we've got a couple minutes. What is your definition of an elite player? Give me 3 elite players, and I'm not trying to say you don't know anything. Like, I'm just asking.
No, I'm just saying. I think our definition was.
This isn't Chell. We're not talking about Chell ratings.
No, I'm asking him. What is your? I'm serious. What is your definition of an elite player? And like, who would you have? And maybe we should all ask. Like, who would be
an elite player is the best player on your team?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, I guess we have different definitions of elite, Ted.
Elite is
to say here.
Elite is the top of the top. Like, I am the elite.
Like, both
I am the elite.
That is called
league.
A franchise player.
I am the elite of the league.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
so in the elite of the league, I am Sidney Crosby. I am Nathan McKinnon. Those guys are the elite of the league, right? Everybody else, every team has franchise players. But the elite players are the best players, the highest class of the league. Just because you're the best player.
You got it backwards, Ted.
No.
I'm just going to say this. Okay, so an elite player, you said the best player on the team, right?
A franchise player is Mario Lemieux, Sidney Crosby.
No. We're talking about
the Penguins have many elite players through time.
The Penguins have many elite players, yeah, for sure. But elite is like
I'm not going to argue.
Elite is the cream of the crop. Well, you're the one that asked the question.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
but I'm not wrong.
Okay, I just want to get in just no, because I want to respond to what Brady had said. You had mentioned that your elite player is like the best guy of the team, right?
Yeah.
So that being said, hear me out. When we didn't have the other guys, Bo Horvat was then elite.
Bo
When
Horvat
he was
is elite.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying with the Chell thing. I know there's an NHL reference in here to the video game. I just think we have different definitions of the word elite. I'm going by the dictionary one.
This is an agree to disagree one. You know what? Look at everybody's pissed. This is so good. I love it.
I'm not pissed. I can see you're visibly upset, Brady. I get it. We can leave this one alone. It's fine.
I think we're all in the same mind. I think we're all, again, I think the terminology, to be fair, we're all thinking different terminology. So as far as what that guy is, because I'm not sure how to transition out of this properly. So
well, the argument is just is completely pointless because I was just trying to point out that I think Seguin's a good player, and I thought you guys were talking him down like he's not a good player.
No, not at all. I think we're all in agreement there. I think Seguin is one of the top, I would say like top 20, top 25 players in this league, maybe even higher. But I reserve the elite class or the highest class as like maybe a rung of 3 or 4 players.
I know. We've been over it. I know.
This is fun. This is the best clip right now. This is it. This is why people tune in. I think we got to get going here because we're just past the hour. So everybody, before we get into our final words, make sure that you do subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can find this video after we're done. Make sure to follow all 3 of us, as you can see on the screen. Always 94, T3, BK Ursula 23. That's Bob's son. You can't miss this guy. Like he's this is royalty, folks.
How did we get on the Bob's son things? That's my favorite.
I don't know. I just like it, and I think we should embrace that because I love curling, and we should be embracing is it a heritage moment? Is that what we call it?
I don't know.
We're gonna get one.
Like the commercials.
We're gonna make a heritage moment, and I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be an ass. Like I love curling, and I think that's something that we should be proud that we dominate. And the fact that your dad is involved in the national program, like that's kick ass. I'm dead serious, and I'll say this every week. It's true. So
and he's a great dude.
I haven't met him, so I would assume so, but I haven't met him yet. So I'm going to assume based on the company I keep that he is. So make sure you follow us on all of our social platforms because we're entertaining people. Brady, make sure you're checking out all of his BCIT stuff that he's been doing. He's got some wicked pieces out right now. He just posted something today. Brady, actually, I'm going to throw to you. Throw away what's going on there.
Yeah, just in my practicum, so we're kind of getting some real stories out there for the first time. So, I did my first live hit. We did a TV project. I got to go
what's
out
the story you're working on right now? Yeah.
Well, I got to go out and do like a big kind of shoot with a big $10,000 camera type thing, and take out and get some interviews and do that and put it together. And then we did like a whole kind of show. So everyone went out and did their own shoots, and we did like a half an hour show. So my show was in the lineup, and then so when that came through, I did a live hit, like an update from the field. So that was pretty neat, getting in front of the camera, getting mic'd up, get the wire in the ear. That was fun. Then I shifted over to digital side of things, where I was a mobile reporter, so going out in the field and getting a story with just your cell phone. So I was
good like actually.
I mean, the cell phone was definitely a lot more. I went out and did my thing. Went out and did my shoot in an hour, actually half an hour, really. The camera thing was a two-day event, so
you're a pro.
There's a bit of a difference there. So
how much time goes into editing?
It really depends. Like, it's crazy to think, like the one with the TV camera, I'd say a good 3-4 hours. But then, the digital one, I didn't expect it, but it's about 6-7 hours yesterday, and then another 5-6 today.
Wow.
Just to kind of really, you really go through the edit and you think it's good, and then we go through a vetting process, right? So we go through that a couple times. So that's kind of what you have to go back and do that, and then.
Beauty.
So that's where I'm at right now.
Joe, man.
There's a couple stories out there. The one about hostels in the pandemic, and one about anti-Asian racism going on in Vancouver and in Canada and everything like that. So,
Oh man,
check them out.
Beautiful. Thanks, buddy. Ted,
Where can we find this stuff?
You can find it on BCIT News and on my Facebook page.
Beautiful. We'll figure out how to share that. Ted, any final words?
I'm not nearly as exciting. Yeah, so yeah, man, we're just kind of doing our thing up here. The weather's getting nicer, so just working on the trailer, stuff like that. And I don't have a whole lot going on out in the field wise. So yeah, nice to hear from Brady doing some cool stuff.
He's now our broadcast journalist guy. He's the one. He's
man
our
in the field.
Yeah, it's like, and now we joined Brady over. Well, technically, I mean, you're in the dungeon, so we can always call you from the dungeon, and that's your location. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't have a whole lot going on. Just dadding, wearing my summer skates. Just enjoying life, having a beer, having a pizza.
I got a final word. I mean, it was really awesome to jump on the live stream with you guys. I know I've missed the last couple episodes. We got this thing going, got to kind of see how it all works in action. So it was awesome to have Tara on. She was a great guest. I think we definitely there's a spark there for sure between the two. So I think we should get her back on. I mean,
for sure,
that was fun. I think we could get pretty creative there. So
yeah,
glad to get the live stream going, guys. Like, great job.
Tara was definitely, as we say in the hockey world, a beauty. She doesn't pull any punches. The glove drop is such a fitting name for her online persona. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
It fits to an absolute T. So I'm excited to see what that bet looks like.
Yeah, get on there and follow. She's got some great stuff on the YouTube channel too. Posts a ton on Instagram and Twitter as well. So
she just
obviously she's a riot. So
she posted the Tom Wilson jersey and tagged us on there. So
nice.
She's a smart girl. Even though we're past midnight out on the East Coast, she knows what's up. So anyway, this has been an absolute blast. Make sure you're entering the Summer Skates contest. Had a great chat with Kevin from Summer Skates last week, right before our little golf game. And man, that guy's got a lot of stuff going on. There's some very, very neat things coming up with Summer Skates that we'll be putting on here, but you'll have to wait to find out. That's a summer thing for Summer Skates. So on behalf of my boys, Brady out in the dungeon, Ted out at the office, Ryan in his den with Big Bird behind him and Canucks at 40 book. This is episode 90. Wow.
That's crazy. That's an accomplishment.
It is crazy. Episode 90 of the PP1 podcast. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Deuces.